Alright, normally we will be looking at the Bible expositionally, but for now I want to go through a series all about the attributes of God, and the first one we're going to look at is knowledge. What is the knowledge of God? The knowledge of God is first of all described as perfect. Job 37 verse 16 says, "Do you know the balancing of the clouds, the wondrous works of him who is perfect in knowledge?" So as well as being perfect, 1 John 3:20 also says that God knows everything. So God's knowledge is perfect, but also infinite. As Wayne Grudem describes it, God fully knows himself and all things actual and possible in one simple and eternal act. What does this mean? God does not only know everything that will happen, he also knows everything that could or could have happened. So we don't have to wonder anymore about something that could have happened in our lives if we made this choice, because God already knows. We'll be able to ask him about it when we get to heaven. Although, will we really be wanting to ask him about that when we're in heaven? We'll be too busy seeing his glory and understanding who he truly is, that we won't probably wonder what would happen if we didn't do that or if we did this. God always knows everything that is happening. He knows every thought and action of our being. He does not need to keep a running tally of the number of hairs on our head. He already knows. And since all of his knowledge is always available and infinite, that means he quite literally knows everything. We can live knowing that since God knows everything that will and could ever happen to us, and we know that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life, John 3:16, we can know with confidence that God knew what would happen to his Son in this plan and knew all the other possibilities, but he chose this one because he loved us so much. All we have to do is accept the free gift of eternal life and live out of thankfulness for him. He knew from the beginning that his Son was going to die a brutal death. He knew that it was not going to be an easy plan. He knew that everyone would rebel and that this world is an absolute mess, and he knew that all along. He doesn't need us to give him glory. He can do that any way possible, but he chose us because he wants us to also experience eternal life with him. All we have to do is accept that free gift. Alright, so welcome to the channel. This is a channel that I'm dubbing Devin's Daily Devotions, and our focus will be devotions. We're usually going to do it expositionally, verse by verse, but as we begin, we're going to start with a series on the attributes of God. I thought this would be an interesting thing to talk about, and I've learned a lot about it so far, and it's incredibly interesting. But after this, we'll probably go through a book of the Bible. I'm still deciding what that will be. We'll find out as we go along. But basically, this will just be something I try to do every day. If I can't get a video out every day, I'll probably do makeup videos. If we can continue growing and stuff, we'll probably do podcasts, maybe like once a week, talking about whatever. So that could be interesting as well. And we're just going to try to do what we can with this. It's really good for learning. It's beginning to help me learn how to prep for a sermon or prep for just anything, a lesson, which is incredibly helpful because I want to be in ministry. Another thing it does is gives me a reason to study and understand the Bible better. Sometimes you run out of time for it, so if I'm doing this, I feel like I'll have no choice but to do it. So continue learning about God. This is mostly for me, right? Like, if you guys can learn something, that's great. But again, I'm just trying to do the best I can do with the platform God gave me. So I hope you all enjoy these videos and let me know. Thank you.